Hi YouTube family, welcome back to another video. I really appreciate everybody who's been watching me and subscribing to the channel. You don't know how much it means. You're really helping the channel out a lot. So please, when you get done and if you find this video valuable and you'd like to see more content like this, please comment, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. But y'all, I just want to get right into what I want to talk to you all about. It's no secret. Y'all, everybody knows right now the country is in an upheaval, because of the politics and things that are going on in this country. And I don't want to get into that, and that's not what this video is going to be about. But I wanted to set the stage for what I am going to talk about. And what I do want to talk about, y'all, we can't do anything about the country, and we can't do anything about the politics. We can't do anything about the president and everybody who's been elected. I mean, we can't do anything about it, right? But what we can do is control how we deal with it, right? And so what I want to do with this channel is I want to set my viewers up for success. Now, I'm not a financial coach. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular person who has lived regular life. And I just want to share my experiences with you all. And today I want to talk about how do we overcome some of this financial stuff that everybody's going through, right? The prices of groceries are high. Insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, real estate taxes, everything is just sky high. I mean, everything is just jumped up, right? Inflation, basically. And the way we can deal with that, we have tools within our reach. And I want to share that with you all today. There's things that we can do to deal with this and to overcome this, okay? Now, this situation, it may or may not apply to you, but it could apply to you maybe sometime down the road. So I just want to share this with you all so that you can just keep this in your forethought, for future endeavors or maybe for what you're going through right now, okay? There's three basic things, and I don't want to keep you all too long, because I know myself, I don't want to watch somebody stand up here and talk for 20, 30 minutes, right? So I'm going to try to keep it under 10, okay? But there's three basic things I want to share with you all. Number one, y'all, credit card debt. And you guys heard me talk about it before. It's just not a good debt to have, right? So if you can, please refrain from using your credit cards, okay? Now, credit cards, to me, and this is my opinion, but they're designed for emergencies. So if you find yourself having an emergency, whatever that is, paying a bill or, something like that, by all means, use that credit card, okay? And pay it off as soon as you can. Don't run it up for shopping and going on trips and things like that. And when I say that, what I mean is, like, say if you lost your job, God forbid, something like that, you got laid off, you got fired or something like that. And you're finding hard to make ends meet, it's okay to use a credit card, in a situation like that. But like I said, try to pay it off as soon as you can, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is real estate, y'all. And I've talked to you all a little bit greater length, I think, in another video about real estate. You know that we're currently selling one of our houses. And we closed today, so hopefully that goes through. And I'll give you guys an update when we cross that hump. I don't want to jinx myself, so I don't want to, start talking about that and God forbid something happens. But real estate, y'all, if you can, and I know everybody can't, and that's why I wanted to start this video and say, hey, this may not apply to you right now, but it could apply to you in the future. Real estate, y'all, is one of the safest things that you can invest in. And I say that because of life experience. Now, you can invest in your dividend stocks, and I don't know a lot about the stock market. I want to learn, but if you feel comfortable doing that, for passive income and things like that, by all means do that. I myself not comfortable, so I like real estate. And the reason I say that, because it has worked for us and my family in the past. We're on our third house that we purchased. I'm thinking about buying another house. I don't know. We'll have to have that discussion, maybe as strictly for investment purposes, to maybe rent out or something like that. But getting back to my point about real estate is very, very important because it is an appreciating asset, right? When you buy real estate, be it property, a house, it's going to go up in value, y'all. It has nowhere to go but up. No matter where you live in the country, some places, real estate, the value goes up a little bit quicker and faster than other places, and then vice versa. It flips around all the time. So it can be a very volatile investment, but it's a solid one, and one with not a whole, I mean, you do have some risk involved, but not a whole lot, not like you do with your stocks and dividends and stuff like that. And the reason I say that is because if you invest in, let's say, your home, the one that you live in, or say you have an investment property, if you fall upon hard times, you guys, you can borrow and you can tap into the equity. If you have equity built into that home, you can tap into the equity in that home. And you can borrow money against the home and use that in your hard financial times. So let's say, God forbid you lose your job, you get laid off, you get fired, what have you. And if you have a home, you can borrow against that home and pay the money back over time. And that's an excellent, excellent way to get yourself through some of these hard times that we're going through. And it's much better than utilizing a credit card. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you're thinking about doing something like that, please contact your local lender, go to your local bank, and get the information that you need, and so they can answer your questions and you know what you're getting into. It's pretty safe. I've done it. We've done it before, tapped into equity in our home, for other reasons, like to do upgrades to the home and things like that. Once you tap into the equity and you borrow, you can do whatever you want with the money. You can use it to buy another house. You can use it to get through some financial hardships. You can use it to pay down credit card debt. You can use it for whatever. You get the idea. You can use it for whatever you want. And it's relatively low interest. Right now, the interest rates are not so good, but it's still better, y'all. It's in single digits as opposed to these credit cards that are in double digits, okay? So that's why I say real estate, real estate, real estate. If you can, purchase something small. Get a small house, small piece of property, and it's just going to go up in value. And you can use it to get you through some hard times if you find yourself going through some hardships, okay? The last thing I want to talk about is something similar to real estate, but it's also if you were fortunate enough to have money saved or to save money. A lot of banks now. I've only mostly dealt, my adult life with credit unions. That's just what I prefer because they have a lot. They're a little bit more lender friendly, and they have a lot of programs and things that some of the regular banks don't have. But I know for a fact with credit unions, if you're able to save up money, y'all, let's say you're able to save up, I don't know, $5,000, $10,000 and beyond. Say you're able to save up 25, 30, 100. That money that you have in your savings account, you can make that work for you also. Now, again, we should save money, of course, in case of financial hardship or we have an emergency and things like that. Everybody should have an emergency fund. And that amount is just going to depend on you and your situation, right? But also with, I know, like I said, with credit unions, they have programs and you can borrow against your savings account to, just like the house, you can borrow against it, get a loan, get a low interest, relatively low interest loan, and you can pay off, debts, or it can get you through a financial hardship. You can pay your bills. You can do whatever you want with that money. And that way you're not draining your account. You're paying that money back, but you're paying it back to yourself with a low interest rate. So it's a win-win, y'all. So if you can utilize something like that, go to your financial institution, speak with the loan officer, and they can explain, to you how those programs work. I could get into more detail, but again, I didn't want to, make this video too long. But if you all want me to talk about that kind of stuff in the future, I can, and I can go into more detail with the equity loans also. But again, I didn't want to stretch this video out and make it too long. But y'all, those are some things that you can utilize to help get you through a hard time if you're experiencing that right now. So again, I want to go over it again. Try not to use your credit cards. Use those to a minimum if that's all you have. If you have a home, you have money, okay? Tap into the equity in your home, borrow against the equity in your home. And then lastly, if you have a savings account, any amount, borrow against that savings account, and that way you don't drain your savings account and you can pay that money back over time with a very, very little or low interest rate. Okay, so I really wanted to just go over that with you all really, really quick today. And so that you all would be aware, because some of you may not, but some of you may be. Some of you I know out there are very financial savvy, and you know all this stuff. But then there are a lot of people, y'all, that don't. So just in case you didn't know, that those types of things and those programs exist, I wanted to share it with you all. So please let me know and drop me a comment and tell me what you guys think. Okay. Look, I really, really want your feedback, and I really look forward to it. So please, y'all, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.